And he announced that the administration intends to repurchase oil for the SPR when prices are around $70 per gallon.
And it's a good price for the taxpayers.
Back in 2020, when Congress was debating funding for replenishing the SPR, Democrats blocked it, saying it was a bailout for big oil. Why is it a good deal for taxpayers now?
Well, right now we are dealing, again, I laid out what the Strategic Petroleum was created for. It was
to the purchasing of the oil at $70 per barrel.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were meaning like why would we tap?
No, replenishing at a lower price.
So can you say your question one more time so I heard it properly?
Back in 2020, when Congress was debating funding for replenishing the SPR at a low price, Democrats blocked it, saying that it was a bailout for big oil. But now President Biden said today that it would be a good deal.
I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about when Donald Trump was trying to sell it at $20 per barrel to buy it. Look, it was a different time then. It was not the same situation that we are currently in. The reserve was close to full capacity at that time, and so there was no reason to make that type of repurchase.
How seriously is the administration considering a ban on U.S. petroleum products?
So everything is on the table. Don't have anything right now to preview. Clearly, our focus today is to make sure that we deliver on the president's promise, is to continue to lower gas prices for the American people. But again, I don't have anything to preview at this time.
You're asking oil companies to further lower gas prices. What makes you think that they are going to listen to an administration that is ultimately trying to put them out of business?
How is the administration trying to put them out of business?
Well, they produce fossil fuels, and this president says he wants to end fossil fuel.
So look, you kind of asked me this question yesterday, and here's where we would say U.S. oil production is up and on track to reach a record high next year. We've seen that from their President Biden made clear he would do everything in his power to lower prices for American families, and he's been delivering. Gas prices fell at the fastest rate in over a decade. That's an eternity ago.
What trip?
Two questions. The president just said that the oil releases from the Strategic Reserve were not political. But we've seen on a daily basis that the administration is making these announcements. Gas prices, EVs, student debt, and an array of other programs such as infrastructure. What's the goal of these announcements, given that they're happening so close to midterms?
Look, and the president was asked specifically that question on the gas prices in our announcement today, and he was very clear. He said, if you've watched him these last several months, these last 4 months, I believe that is what he said, he's been working every day to lower gas prices for this Putin's war.
Thanks, Karine. In the 15 million barrels of oil the president talked about today, when you put that in the context, Americans consume an average of nearly 20 million barrels of oil a day. So for the actual impact of this announcement, when could Americans actually expect to see results of this when they're filling up at the gas station?
The work that this president has taken when it comes to this historic decision with the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, we have seen some of the effects. We have seen gas prices go down. So again, the president's going to do everything that he can to make sure that we make the lives of American families a little bit easier.
But you couldn't say a timeline of, by saying this today and happening in December, of when there's actually an impact for American consumers and pocketbooks, of when people might feel this.
So again, we are already seeing the impact on consumers, but what the president is saying is that the prices are already too high. And so we want to make sure that the supply out there meets the demand, and that is not what's happening.
And just one more, sorry, but on restocking the reserve when it hits $70 a barrel, oil's trading at around $83 a barrel today. What makes the president confident you'll be able to buy back oil at that level?
So the release of the oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve was always meant to be a bridge, as you've heard us say many times, to greater supply. So to make sure that we have that supply out there. The pace of releases for October and November tapered off just a bit. But again, we want to make sure that it matches, that the supply matches the demand. So we're not saying that we're trying to bring down the price down to $70. That's not what we're trying to say.